Hey everybody, this is Ben Jeffries here at Capital Christian Church. Just now going live. Sorry if you were on before and you got kicked off by any means or something like that. Sorry, I guess we had some wires loose or something. But welcome to our virtual luau for our Wednesday night growth group. I see a couple messages coming in on my phone. So I'm just trying to keep in touch with everybody. Looks like I see Max has joined. Max, thanks for joining our virtual luau. Hopefully you got to get out and enjoy some of the sunshine today. That should work really well. Who else is logging in on either Instagram or YouTube? I see Cadence. What's up, Cadence? How are you? Welcome to the virtual luau. We are ready to go. We definitely have the setup going on tonight as we are having a great time here at the luau. So everybody drop me a comment. Tell me how your day has been. Were you able to find some summer stuff to throw on that if you wanted to be a part of the luau tonight? For my Instagram folks, if you will take a picture of your luau gear or whatever you were able to come up with for tonight, tag CapCity SM in it when you post it. That would be awesome. I see Kennedy. I see Carter. Welcome to the virtual luau. We've got the party going on here. It is a great place to be tonight. We're having fun. We are going to get started with the Bible study here in just a little bit, just giving folks time to log in a little bit. So tell me, everybody, how your day has been. Tell me if you were able to get outside and enjoy some of the sunshine, what you did. Let's drop some comments. Also, I know it's on Instagram, I believe on YouTube as well. For those folks, you can actually click to ask a question, and I will get that on the question and answer page here as well. So hopefully everybody is having a great time tonight and is ready to be a part of our study. I know it's kind of weird because I'm looking at a different camera tonight, so I got to remember to keep my eyes on this green dot rather than look down. So how's everybody doing tonight? I'll be looking at comments. Kennedy, thank you for joining again. Glad to have you back. So drop some comments, folks. You can put more comments in there. Max says vibe. Okay. Let's get some comments going, folks. Tell me about your day. Tell me how things were before we get into the Bible study part of it. We're definitely having a great time, good time for the luau, virtual luau. Don't forget, you can take a picture. Sorry, the little table's a little wobbly there. You can take a picture of your luau attire and tag it to @CapCitySM to keep me posted on what you're able to come up with. We'll put a big picture board together that way. So I know we got folks in the room. Yes, Carter, it did feel like summer, man. I was so excited to get outside. I was here in the office and just went outside and did some walking and enjoyed it a little bit. Welcome, Haley. We're glad you're here. Small group leader Haley has joined. Kennedy Yeagle, what's up, Kennedy? We're glad you are here for our virtual luau growth group tonight. We definitely got this place set up for fun. And I know we're not able to have it in person, but we will do it virtually. You can't stop a good luau, so we're going to have a good time tonight. If you just got here, tell me about your day. Were you able to get outside, enjoy some of the sunshine? We are also giving you the opportunity, since most of you all looking at the stream, looks like everybody is on Instagram right now. We don't have any YouTube folks that have signed in just yet. But if you're on Instagram, if you will take a picture of your luau attire and tag @CapCitySM, we'll get that going today. So that'd be really awesome. Don't forget, on the live chat, you can leave comments. Let me know about your day. Let me know about things going on in life before we get into the actual Bible study itself. And you can also share, so make sure you are letting folks know that this study is out there. So share, like, all that fun stuff. Like we like to say on Sunday nights, we want you to spam those comments. So spam those hearts and likes and anything else you can come up with. So Just a couple more minutes, folks, and we will get into the study. I'm just giving everybody time to log in since the announcements are popping up as we speak. So, not seeing a lot of comments, folks, so tell me more about your day. I see folks logged in, but tell me more about how your day's been. Haley, how's your day been? Melissa, it's good to see you. How's everybody's day? How's everybody's day? How's everybody's day? Lots of folks joining. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. We are having our virtual luau tonight with our Bible study. Yes, Haley, lots of sunshine out there. It was great. I think I might regret that I put shorts on, but it's very comfortable in here, but we'll see how it is outside when I actually get to leave here. So. Hey, we've got YouTube has just signed in, so thank you for folks who are joining us from YouTube right now. Appreciate you joining our virtual luau Bible study. We're glad to have you. Just a few more minutes, folks, and we will get started with the actual study. No, I am not a big Fortnite fan. Fortnite, I kind of am on the older end and didn't really get into Fortnite when it first came out. I know it's quite popular. A lot of students who are big Fortnite fans. So. Are you a Fortnite fan? Guys, anything else you want to share before we get this study going here in just a minute or two? Again, for those that just logged in, we've got the luau experience behind me. We've got the lights going. Fortnite King. Max, you're the Fortnite King. You are the Fortnite King. Carter, I can barely see that one. I don't know what that one is, but it's a blue circle. I don't know. I need to see if we can expand some of these screens because some of them come through on the feed a little small. So, all right. Any other comments? Any other thoughts, folks? Let's see, a hula dance. All right, for you, Kennedy, I actually did on Facebook earlier because I don't know if you can see the grass skirt that I have on, but I did a little hula dance earlier on the Facebook Live. Can't really move very well for a hula, but we've got everything, got the grass skirt and all the fun stuff. So we are having a great time with this. So. Yeah, Max, I don't think there's anybody that wants me in a coconut bra, buddy. So that's a big negative. That's funny though. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Kind of what I want to talk about tonight as we do the first part of this study is faith over fear. And I know with everything that's going on in our community, Commonwealth, the economy, all sorts of aspects, faith can be hard to muster up, so to speak. It's hard to find in these times. But fear is a pretty ultimate element. So I want to take a few moments, and if you're in the chat, I want you to tell me, leave me a comment, what you think trusting God means. So if I said, what does trusting God mean? How would you explain that? So let's see some comments in the live chat on what it means to trust God. And I'll lean in and watch for comments here. What's it mean to trust God? Hey, Cassie, welcome. We just got started with our virtual hula, and I've asked everybody the question, virtual hula. I just did the hula dance. Virtual luau as part of our growth group tonight. So I've just asked everybody the question, what does it mean to trust God? What's trusting God look like? Kennedy has said, not knowing all the answers, but being okay with that. That is actually very true. If you're going to trust God, you're not going to know all the answers. I have studied theology, I guess, for the last 18 years, and I by far do not have all the answers. Students come to me all the time, and I try to find answers for them, but I don't have all the answers. That's a great job. Thank you, Kennedy. Carter says, trusting God is to don't be scared of the virus. Dude, that's deep, man. That's deep. That's exactly, as Christ followers, if we're going to trust God, we should not be scared of the virus. I like that, bro. Other comments. What does it mean to trust God? It's a good comment so far. Let's keep these going. Good stuff, good stuff. What does trusting God mean? Haley, you're a small group leader. What are your thoughts on that? Other thoughts, folks, other thoughts. What does it mean to trust God? Trusting God. Tell you what, while a few of you are thinking of your comments, I'm going to read verse 2. It's actually in Hebrews chapter 13. Let's see what you think about this in relation to trust. In Hebrews 13, starting with chapter 8, it says, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. Do not be carried away by all kinds of strange teachings. It is good for our hearts to be strengthened by grace, not by ceremonial foods, which are of no value to those who eat them. We have an altar from which those ministers at the tabernacle have no right to eat. All right? And it kind of gets into some more religious detail at that point. But I want to go back and focus on the first part of 8 and then into 9. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. Do not be carried away by all kinds of strange teachings. Do not get carried away. And I think the reason why that stands out to me the most is that during times where there's a national crisis, where there's struggles, where people aren't sure where to turn, it is very easy to get swayed by what we would call false doctrines, what we would call people who are teaching things that aren't Christ-like. So if we're going to trust God, we need to hold on to verses like Hebrews 13:8 that clearly tells us Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever, which means His promises, His grace, His truth, and everything about our salvation, our forgiveness of our sins, everything is the same in the past, it's the same in the present, and it'll still be the same for us in the future, which means if we trust God, Jesus has us, folks. It doesn't matter what outcome could come our way. We can be at peace knowing that we have a relationship with Christ, that we have strength and joy, and everything belongs to Him. Any thoughts, any more thoughts on what it means to trust God? No more hula dances till I see some comments. So what does it mean? What does it mean to trust God? I like that, Carter. Facts. That's right, bro. Truth, Max. Truth. Other thoughts on trusting God? Let's look at it from this aspect as well. How can you relate peace with trusting God? So how would you relate peace with trusting God? Yeah, we do need some Jeopardy music for the silent part, Kennedy. So think about peace, guys. How do you relate peace with trusting God? How would those two come together? I'm trying not to lean too much because I realize the parameters for Instagram are about like right here. So my hands come in and disappear. So it's kind of weird for you all probably. I've got a little tiny box that I have to keep everything in. So keep thinking, folks. How would you relate peace with trusting God? What stands out to you? What brings you peace? How does trusting God bring you peace? What's up, Weston? Thanks for joining, man. We're just now talking about how we trust God, but I've asked them the question, how does peace help you trust God? All right, Kennedy has said if you're trusting God, you're giving your worries to Him instead of trying to fight them on your own, which gives you peace. Absolutely. Man, I'm so guilty of that one, Kennedy. Like, I'm all the time trying to develop my own worries, control my own worries, and bring my own solutions instead of just giving those to Him. And then Carter says, to not be scared. I don't know, really. Dude, no, that's really true. We shouldn't be scared. We should be at peace. We're talking about the God of all creation. So even in the midst of a national emergency, even in the midst of a virus and a struggle of that kind, God gives us peace. God gave His life so that we might have peace. Hey, Weston. Man, I'm so glad you're here, brother. Feel free to jump in the conversation. We'd love to have your thoughts on what it means to have peace and trust in God. So, while a few more of you are maybe thinking of your comments or what you're wanting to say, I do have another verse that I want to read to you. This one's actually found in the Gospel of John. So a little bit further back. It's John 14. And specifically, it's going to be 21. Or excuse me, not 21, 27. I was going to say, that's going to take me a while to read all those. But this is what it says in John 14, 27. And this is Jesus talking. He says, "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." And then in 28, "You heard me say, I am going away, and I'm coming back to you. If you loved me, you'd be glad that I am going to my Father, for my Father is greater than I." And then in 29, I have told you now before it happens, so that when it does happen, you will believe. 30, I will not speak with you much longer, for the prince of this world is coming. He has no hold on me. And then 31, but the world must learn that I love the Father and that I do exactly what my Father has commanded me. Come now, let us leave. So Jesus is telling them, well, his upcoming death, which is exactly what we're moving into with our Happy Easter series over the next 4 weeks. He's telling them that the prince of this world, the darkness of this world, Satan, was given power over the world. But notice he uses the words, he doesn't have power over me. Jesus made it very clear and very, very evident. I have peace that this world can't offer you. I have something that it cannot offer you. And that's because only God can offer it. And see, right now, you're going to be tempted. I'm going to be tempted. The world's going to be tempted to look for all sorts of solutions to find peace. You're going to want to turn to bad relationships, which during social distancing might be a little difficult. You're going to want to turn to things like drugs, to alcohol. Those things become tempting in these times for folks because they're looking for peace. They're looking for something to take that edge off. But what Jesus says in John 14:27 is, peace I leave with you. Take my peace. I'm going unto my death. I'm going to die for you, rise for you, and return to heaven. But my peace remains here with you. If you receive it, which means you receive walking in a relationship with Jesus Christ, then we can have a peace. That doesn't mean we're not going to get afraid. It doesn't mean when something about the coronavirus flashes on our TV screen or on our phones, our stomachs don't jump a little bit. Or when we see about a diagnosis in Frankfurt or something like that, it's going to cause us to jump. Maybe a little bit of worry creep in. But then we need to immediately rise up in our spirit and go, no, wait a minute. I've got a peace that no matter what happens to me, God's protecting me. We seek Him for our health, just like we seek Him for the forgiveness of our sins and the peace and joy that we have in a relationship with Jesus Christ. Thoughts on God's peace? What do y'all think? Yes, they are, Carter. They can be very damaging, very tempting, very damaging. Thoughts on God's peace? Thoughts on John 14:27? I like that, Max. God's peace is pretty chill, not going to lie. And the verse was cool too. Thanks, man. That's a pretty cool verse. All those words that Jesus said are pretty awesome. I'm glad that we're privileged to have a record of God speaking. I mean, it's pretty awesome when you think about it. Hey, Riley. Thanks for joining. We were just talking about trusting God and finding peace with God in the midst of things going on. Sometimes that can be very difficult to do. Kenny said, God's peace is different than any other peace we can have. Nothing on earth will ever be able to fulfill. Kind of cut off on me. What he can. Sorry. It's just my little screen kind of cut off there. What he can. That's awesome, Kennedy. It's very true. He does things that we couldn't even begin to think of. I mean, we're talking about God. We're talking about God in the flesh. Taking death for us. So, I mean, if he could take death for us and then bring his own life back, I'm pretty sure that he can bring a peace that satisfies anything we could possibly think of or anything we could ever need. So I like this, guys. What's some other thoughts you have about trusting God or his peace? Or if you want to do open forum and you have some questions for me, maybe you're just like, hey, this stuff is really scaring me. Can we talk about it? Absolutely. This has me nervous. Or if there's any prayer requests, like maybe somebody in your family is ill. Maybe it's not the COVID-19, but it's some other symptoms like it or just something else going on, and you're like, hey, would you keep us in prayer? Feel free to share those. That's what this live chat is for. I know it can't replicate an in-person Wednesday night growth group, but man, we're getting to interact, guys. I'm right here, just like I promised I would be, and we're interacting, and we'll keep doing that. Haley, are you still out there? Any thoughts you want to chime in on? It's always nice when I have another leader that joins and wants to share a little bit. Other thoughts, guys? If you like it, let me know. Leave a comment. Smash those hearts or likes or whatever you got out there. If it's Instagram or YouTube, I know we've had a few from both coming through, so let me know if you like it. Other thoughts on trusting God and his peace? I know it's hard to type it sometimes, guys. For those of you all that have already shared a little bit, maybe you have some thoughts that you can offer others in the room tonight. During this time that you're away from school, maybe some of you are even away from work, how are you trusting God and how are you finding peace as you kind of get stuck at home maybe? I know several of you probably can't go to work, so money, like it might be kind of stinky right now. You can't go to school, so some of you are trying to finish up the year, maybe you're trying to graduate or just finish school for the year and be done. So how are you trusting God in the midst of this? Maybe you have some hope to offer others. Yeah, Weston, it does fit really nice. You know how God, his peace surrounds us so much to a point that it almost seems dumb not to trust him. But yet we do in so many things. Like today, I was like that. I was so frustrated. My tripod, somebody was borrowing it and I couldn't find it. And I was just losing my mind because it was like, I've got to shoot my promo video. 5 minutes passed, I was still able to do it. It all worked out great. But I freaked out there for a little bit. I didn't have his peace. Praying and listening to K-Love makes my day better. Yeah, K-Love has some awesome music, praise and worship music. If you're not familiar with radio stations, I would recommend K-Love. And definitely setting aside time to pray. Oh, okay. Max, I missed that. I thought you was talking about the verses, Weston. Thanks. I'm glad you, I like the outfit, Weston, for our luau night. Gracie, thank you for joining. We've just gone through some of our Bible study time, just to kind of catch you up, the recap. Hebrews 13:8, we talked about how Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And John 14:27, we talked about the peace that God offers us, how it's greater than anything else. So we've been looking at trusting God in the midst of everything going on, and pretty much walking in his peace. So Gracie, if you have any thoughts that you'd like to offer on what it means to trust God or how you've been able to trust God in the midst of this, feel free to comment. And, of course, some of you all haven't seen our awesome luau set up back here, so we are having a fun virtual luau tonight. Hopefully all of our restrictions and shutdowns are very minimal in time, so we can actually do more stuff like this live and in person on a Wednesday night. Carter, what is your favorite Christian song? I'd say one that I'm a really big fan of is And Your Praise Goes On. I think it was Chris Rice's version. It was a pretty special song. It talks about, he's writing this song talking about how everything continues to worship him, how the ocean waves are worshiping him, how the trees and the wind and everything worships God. So even in the midst of everything going on, I think that was one of the first songs I played when I found out everything that was going on here. And when I got the announcement that I was not going to be able to preach live to you all, and that was tough. That's tough for a minister to. It's like a parent not being able to see your kids. So I remember playing that song very recently and going, well, God, your praise is going to go on. So if the oceans still praise you and the wind still praises you and the trees moving still praise you, then I'm going to praise you, and we're going to praise you as a family. So. Favorite Christian artist? I would say, if individual, Chris Rice, and then as a group, Casting Crowns was always my favorite as a group. And then Christian album, I had to go old school a little bit and look at usually a lot of Jars of Clay stuff was when I was your all's age, it was very much Jars of Clay. I'm not sure, Kennedy. I think it's a hard call. I think they're going to have to make it pretty much on a daily basis at this point to kind of evaluate. Probably guaranteed the rest of March, probably the first part of April. But I do hope we can bring everybody back for Easter. If we get the green light that we can have Easter services, I think that's going to be the most phenomenal thing ever. And definitely what we all need, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see. But until then, we're still going to meet just like this. We'll do live streams, we will interact together, and we will continue on. So. Oh, Carter, I'm glad you like that song, bro. It's a good one. I keep rolling back out of my chair. Gracie, are you still with us? Any thoughts? I like picking on Gracie because usually I say things and she just laughs at me during it. So. We've got about 15 minutes left on our live feed for the Bible study part, and then we'll do a wrap up and call it a night. We'll do about 1 hour sessions on here. Any other thoughts, guys? Anything on your mind? Prayer requests? Thoughts about what's going on? Any concerns you have with you and your family? How can I encourage you and be there for you? We're a family. Hey, Tommy, thanks for joining. We just did our Bible study portion of our Wednesday night growth group for our virtual luau. So as you can see, I'm all decked out. Tommy, we've just been talking about trusting God and finding peace in God in the midst of everything that's going on. Any thoughts that you might have for some of our younger viewers, our students? Feel free to comment on the live chat if you have any thoughts about trusting God and His peace. We've looked at Hebrews 13:8 on how Jesus is the same, and we've looked at John 14:27 about the peace that He leaves for us. So feel free to comment. And a little bit about